Welcome. The Improv 2 Saga presents another episode of Psychic Nightmares. The trip was amazing. You got to meet plenty of funny, enlightening, and just joyful people on your trip. And it was exactly what you needed to get away from the stress and the hustle of work. You feel lighter. The weight of the world was lifted off your shoulders. You know it's a long drive, though. About 6 hours, but you got a decent head start this time. But traffic and a little bit too much partying, you're still exhausted. And the drive is not helping. It's mundane and tedious. Pure boring. And you cannot find a good station because you've been crossing states. You can't recognize any of them. The sun is to the side of you, slowly setting. You refrained from eating, though, or drinking anything. You knew that a long drive would not be very good on your stomach. So you decided to tough it out and simply ride. Eventually, you might come to a point where you could rest, but you gotta work early, 10 o'clock, so it's best to head there as quickly as possible. Eventually, as the minutes turn into hours and they pass, the sun goes down, the moon comes up. There are less and less cars, but you're getting closer to your home. You're almost to the borderline state. But your eyes are dreary. Your head occasionally nods off. You hear the and you jerk awake as you realize you temporarily fell asleep at the wheel. You read a sign saying, "Rest stop. 1 mile." Should you rest or should you continue on? You slow down a little bit to contemplate the decision. It would be smart if you did rest for a little bit. But if you did, you might not want to wake back up. You might just want to sleep through, and then you'd be late for work. And then have to explain to your boss that you weren't really where you were, where you told him you would be. You went out of state. You weren't sick at all. So perhaps, just maybe, you should press on. As you get closer, the sign reads 1/2 mile. You need to make your decision quickly. Driving through the night, there are no cars. You are alone on the interstate. And again, you are nodding off. You go through the radio, but you get nothing but static. No decent stations. Nothing that plays any of the music you like. But eventually you do find one. It's one of your favorite songs playing. But eventually, the static kicks in and takes it right out. And it was the perfect song to keep you awake for a good while. Up ahead, you see a sign that reads very peculiar. It simply says Murder Creek, 2 miles, and spray paint, what seems to be spray painted below that says, "Turn back now." It's graffiti. You don't think anything of it. You keep pressing on. You gotta be somewhere. Still managing through those channels, the radio, you do manage to find a song, but it seems strange. It seems so old. But eventually it comes through. You turn up just a little bit, and you hear, "While strolling through the park one day, in the very, very month of May, I was taken by surprise by a pair of roguish eyes." This is an old song. An old song. This is stuff your grandparents used to listen to. What era was this? The 20s? The 50s? What channel is this? Again, you see another sign. Murder Creek, 1 mile. And more spray painting. More graffiti. Stop. Go back. It's strange. The moonlight, as the clouds part, the moonlight peers down through your windows. You briefly glance at it and at the stars, but the clouds seem to surround them, giving them an eerie glow. As you look back down, you can almost notice in your rearview mirror what almost looks like something sitting in the middle of your back seat. The hairs on the back of your neck stand up, goosebumps and chills. But as the moonlight pierces back through, it's gone. You're just tired. It's nothing. And the song continues on with the same lyrics. While strolling through the park one day, in the very, very month of May. Something seems to come through. Static. It seems to overlap. He's behind you, the radio says. You look down. Static comes through again. The song continues. I was taken by surprise by a pair of... I said, he's behind you. While strolling through the park one day. As the song seems to end, undiscernible because the static keeps going in and out, a pair of bright lights appear on your bumper. A loud horn honking. You're going 70 miles an hour. And the driver behind you swerves, flashing their lights, roaring their horn, their bumper against yours, pushing you forward. You begin to quickly gain speed. You were going 70, now you're going 80 and 90. Again, you see the sign, whip by, Murder Creek. Half a mile. It's too late. You try to drive faster. You try to wave the guy around you. You swerve to one side. He swerves behind you again, pushing you. The song gets louder. What? The static, conflicting, the voice coming through. Go faster! Go faster! You push 100, 105, 115, 130 as fast as your car will allow. But still, it's not fast enough. Moving from left to right, trying to allow him to get by. The driver's clinged to your back bumper, pushing you forward. You see a sign. It says Murder Creek, and a large, long bridge with broken rims and edges, and what looks like around you, cars slammed off and broken into the sides. The sign reads, "You were warned." Thank you, and good night.